Hey guys, so let's talk about how to stop missing jerks forward. And to do this, we're going to talk about three specific areas. The start position, we're going to talk about a solid brace, and then we're going to finish up with weight balance during the movement. So let's go ahead and get into this.
All right, let's talk about the start position. Now, the start position, there's a few key little spots that we need to think about. One is lock your legs. Okay, so don't let your legs be unlocked at the start. I think of it a lot like a car leaving their lights on, right? When you're standing here and your legs are unlocked, muscle is active, keeping you from just, falling down under gravity, and you're just draining that muscle. Lock your legs so you're bone on bone, right? So your bones are supporting the mass rather than your muscles. The other thing you have to think about is, how is this bar sitting on us? So you can see here with Ash that she has the bar placed really nicely on her, right? And if you'd walked up to her and kind of push on her forearms, they wouldn't be super tense. There's not a ton of weight here in the arms, as if she had her elbows too far down to where she had no shoulder, and all of a sudden all the weight sitting here in the arms. Yes, we have to be able to put this bar on us. If you're an individual with bad mobility, you need to fight through it. You need to gain that mobility. Step one, you have to hit your positions, right? Now, little critique on Ash, you might be able to lower elbows a little bit more. However, this placement of the bar, or the bar sitting on her, very, very nice. Third thing I want you to think about is weight back, okay? So think about your weight over your heels when you're standing about to initiate the dip, okay? So we're nice and set, weight sitting on us, not in our arms. Our legs are locked, and our weight is back towards the heel. Now we're ready for the next portion. Okay, so we have the start position set. Now, when we're missing a jerk forward, the start position can be vital and one of the key areas that are leading to that outcome. So get set up correctly, set yourself up for success each time. Now let's talk about a brace. Now, when we talk about bracing, what we're thinking about, using a very, very simple example, not trying to get too technical, is here, if you look at Shane, he's wearing a belt. Right? Now, what he should be thinking about is breathing into his belly and pushing with that breath into the belt 360 degrees. Okay? There, he's creating good intra-abdominal pressure that then, when he unlocks his legs, he's able to support that big weight on his shoulders so his legs can do the work. Now, if we don't have this, if we're, say, just sucked in and real skinny, or this is just an afterthought and it's not holding us, we're going to be limited with weight. This needs to be a solid column attached to our legs for our legs to do the work. Now, if we watch Shane here, if we go ahead and go through, you're going to see him come down and see that little bit of shift forward. Now, it doesn't look like too much of a crunch. However, Shane described it as, it felt like I lost my brace, because look at the outcome. Pushes the bar forward, and then look what happens. Oh, no, right? He knew it. He's mad. He's going to let that bar go down, right? So here, he didn't hold a good brace. He unlocked, and gravity is going to win, because this is going to sink. It's going to pull you forward. Even though you drive with your legs, you're fighting a downhill battle. And see that shift? Right there. Let's go ahead and look at a quick one where Shane holds a brace really well. So we saw Shane with a bad brace. Now here's an example in the same training session where he holds a much better brace, and the result is much better. So again, he's thinking about breathing into that belt, creating intra-abdominal pressure to create this into a solid column so his legs can do the work. Let's go ahead and watch him. He unlocks, holds well. See how it doesn't shift forward on him as he comes down? Now, there's that tiny shift, but it's much, much, much less than what we had seen before as he drives back through vertical. And then his footwork, which we're going to talk about next, happens. Looks where that bar goes. and how he's able to recover. Here immediately that bar is over the big muscles in his body. And that's why we often miss weight forward, is we fall out of position somewhere and then we let it push forward. But here Shane does a very, very good job of unlocking, holding that brace and driving right up. So as we've talked about weight balance for the last 2 cues that we've given, we've seen that we've been directing the weight back. So in the start position, we mentioned finding our heel and staying back. On the brace, we've talked about how if we don't have pressure here, we'll be pulled forward and we're not able to stay back. So keeping the weight back is vital through the movement. When we dip and then drive, we want to keep it back and not let ourselves get pulled forward. We also want our back foot to hit first in that split. And if we let ourselves get pulled forward, we've made the back foot much more difficult to achieve. Now, let's watch Amanda here, who doesn't get terribly pulled forward, but you see when she unlocks how she starts to shift forward a little bit. So she starts to get pulled forward, drives that bar straight back up. It already has a little bit more forward angle, but just her weight balance is off in the movement. A drill such as the footwork drill can really help this. Watch this. See how she shoots this back foot way too far back? Front foot hits. Now look, this back foot hasn't hit the ground yet. Front foot's down. Look where this bar is. All out in front of her. You put a lot of weight on there, and here she is running forward, missing jerks forward, having a very difficult time. So the footwork drill is absolutely vital for us to understand that back foot hitting first, feeling weight in the back leg as this front foot steps away from us. That sets us up to be able to put the bar where we need to put it. So check out the footwork drill, check out the other work we've talked about with footwork, and now let's go ahead and look at one more athlete where the footwork happens a little bit better. So for weight balance and the footwork, I wanted to show you one jerk that the footwork's a bit better on. Watch Shane again here. When he drives, this is the same video that we had talked about with him holding a good brace. That back foot goes back, it hits almost the same time as the front foot, but it's getting down quicker. This is something that Shane's actively working on to get that back foot down, because he's really had a habit of throwing it back. He's getting much, much better, but we can see how much different it is compared to one of Amanda's first videos, which Amanda's also working on this. We'll have to do an update later as both of them continue to perfect it, but we need to get this back foot down quick so that front foot can step away from us. Check out some other videos that we have on this, but I hope this gives you a bit more insight to what's going wrong as you're missing those jerks forward, and I hope we can provide you more and more and more to help you correct this issue. So until next time, take care, guys.